Texas pulled off the unthinkable. They upset Alabama on the road, then Tuscaloosa 34-24. And did you know that Nick Saban, prior to this loss, only had lost what, 7, 8 games in his whole entire career coaching in Alabama prior to Texas beating them, Quincy?
Yeah, man. I mean, I saw a little graphic that said there were like only a handful of teams that have actually beat Nick Saban at home, and it was like a bunch. It was like a few teams from like his first year in 2007, and then it was like Ole Miss 1 year, Georgia 1 year, like and A&M with Manziel, and now Texas. That's like all that it was.
Yeah, then recently the 2019 LSU team, man, when
Oh
you
yeah.
look at Texas' performance, what really stood out to you? Did they look like the far more superior team than Alabama, or do you think that it was an all around good game? Texas just was better than Alabama in certain portions.
I I picked Texas to win this game actually. In my weekly picks. I really thought they could do it, and a lot of people didn't think that they could. My philosophy was I said Bama will be better in the trenches, but Texas's like skill players on the outside are I think better than like Bama's secondary, and I thought Quinn Ewers was the way better quarterback, which is like this is not to like dog on Jalen Milroe. He did not have a good game. It felt like he was like getting the ball and just immediately wanted to run. And if he had to make like if he had to make like a second read, he like didn't know what to do. So I just was really disappointed in Jalen Milroe, I guess. But it was still a really good game. And he made some really good passes, but Quinn Ewers, he's that guy. And Xavier Worthy, I said Xavier Worthy coming into the season would be the best receiver in college football because he is that good. I don't know if he'll actually be the best or the first receiver taken in the draft, but he is a dog and he caught some really good passes. And I mean, as soon as Texas got that pick near the end and made it a 2-score lead, I mean, they kind of just held on. It was still a really good game, you know.
I think the biggest difference maker at receiver for Texas to me was AD Mitchell. I mean,
He had a good game too.
the way he the whole entire receiving core of Texas was destroying Alabama's secondary. And I was a little bit surprised at how dominant Texas just looked offensively. They just looked so fluid. Alabama's defense hasn't really gotten better. As a matter of fact, would you say that it kind of has taken a step back? Because, yeah, at one end, we got to give credit to Texas having just a stacked offense. But Alabama defensively, I haven't seen them get dogged like that in a while since LSU.
I mean, I don't think Bama's defense did like through the first half of this game, it was pretty much a defensive kind of battle. I mean, 13-6 at half. I thought Bama's defense held up for a while. It's just their offense, I thought, like couldn't get enough going, and they were kind of left on the field for a while. Texas did win the time of possession battle. I wouldn't be siring. I wouldn't be panicking about Bama's defense because ultimately, I mean, they've given up more than 34 points before. I would tend to blame this loss more on Bama's offense than I would their defense because I felt like they kicked way too many field goals. Like it was 13-9 in the third quarter. Very easily could have been 13-21 if they converted all those to touchdowns. I wouldn't blame this game on Bama's defense because for a lot of the game, I thought they held up pretty well. Like the play that made it a 2-score lead for Texas was because Milroe threw a pick and they started the drive on their 5-yard line. So I wouldn't really blame this on Bama's defense. I would say their offense is going to need to pick up the slack.
How do you feel about Jalen Milroe going forward? Because for me, when I looked at Jalen Milroe, there was a portion of this game I was like, okay, you got to take this dude out. But then when I was saying, okay, they got to take this dude out, the fool comes back in the game and throws a touchdown. And it's a one possession game. And you're like, okay, Jalen, like, I see you. And there were some plays where he was looking unstoppable with his legs, especially on third down. Do you think Texas defense is just that good, or should Bama like kind of open back up the quarterback competition again? Because he did look awful. He did make some plays.
Yeah, he made some plays. I will say, Texas's defense played a lot better than I thought they would. I didn't think Texas would win this game because of their defense, but through portions of that, they were bigger up front and stopped some of Bama's runs a lot better than I thought they would. I wouldn't try to go switching quarterbacks. I mean, I'm not really sure who Bama has after Jalen Milroe, but I'm sure this is something he can figure out. I wouldn't be totally panicking about the quarterback situation for Bama because Bama's upcoming schedule, they have some easy kind of games to kind of get him back in the swing of things. They play South Florida, and then they play Ole Miss. Might not be that easy of a game, but I mean, really, their next really hard game is home against Tennessee. So, which by the way, Tennessee did not look very good last week, but it is what it is. I think they should just stick with him. I don't think if he didn't turn it around, if he just kept playing terribly like he did the first half, I would maybe consider it. But he definitely played a lot better in the second half to where I would have confidence with him going forward.
This win for Texas makes them legit. I try to say legitimize, but however you say it, this makes them legit in terms of where you view them as a championship contender. You probably might have viewed them as a fringe playoff team. Now you got to look at this team as a legit team, the same way that you're looking at Florida State. I know it's crazy that some of these blue blood programs are finally starting to come back to the forefront of college football. Texas, they went on the road and beat Alabama. Nobody beats Alabama on the road being a crappy team. It's not fluke. Like, you got to be a damn good team to beat Alabama, no matter if it's a down year or their best year. And for Texas moving forward, you don't beat the toughest team on your schedule. Now you got to run through the gauntlet that is the Big 12. They got Kansas coming up. I think that'll be tough. They got Oklahoma, still not really that high on them, but I think for Texas, I'm not going to say they're officially back because it's only week 2. It seems a little bit too early to declare that, but I definitely think that Texas, with this win, has proved that they were worth every inch of the hype that they received during this offseason, and they do have one of college football's best rosters.
They have a squad. They have a really good team, and they're definitely the favorites to win the Big 12. I know a lot of people might not have thought that at the start of the year, but I think they're back. You don't go and beat Alabama on the road, and they looked like it wasn't like they got this happened, this happened, this happened. They were the better team. Like, there's no question about it. They were the better team, and if you look at their schedule, it's pretty easy the rest of the way. I mean, the only games I can maybe see them losing are Kansas State, TCU. I don't think anybody else on their schedule